Hi, I'm Annie Stoker and welcome to the 21-day Millionaire Mindset Challenge. Today I want to share with you essential information about how to master a millionaire mindset no matter how much money you have. So, first of all, what do I mean by a millionaire mindset? Well, to me, having a millionaire mindset is about feeling like a millionaire. Imagine feeling the freedom, the peace, and the contentment that a millionaire who has no worries in the world would feel, yet having that feeling no matter how much money you have. You see, millions can come and go. However, having a millionaire mindset is something that you create on the inside that can become so unshakable that you feel like a millionaire whether you're living in a mansion or a shed. Of course, in reality, there are many millionaires who don't actually feel that sense of peace, of freedom, and of contentment because they don't have a millionaire mindset. We tend to assume that someone who has high material wealth will be happier than someone who doesn't, but this just isn't statistically true. In fact, there are many wealthy people on antidepressants, with drug or alcohol addictions, or in very unhappy relationships. This happens because financial wealth and a wealthy mindset are in fact two completely different things. You can have all the money in the world, but still not be free inside. Having a millionaire mindset, on the other hand, gives you that freedom no matter what your life is like. So therefore, I'd like to suggest that a millionaire mindset is in fact even more important than having millions of dollars, because no one can take it away from you. Surely that's worth more than any millions. So, how do we start to create a millionaire mindset? Well, a millionaire mindset comes from two different aspects. The first part is about feeling abundant. It's about trusting that you will always be all right no matter what happens to you, and on focusing on what you do have, not on what you don't. You need to let go of the mind's judgments that having more is somehow good and having less is bad, and to accept your present reality just as it is. Learning to appreciate the simplest pleasures in life allows us to become very present and to not take things for granted, so that we see the people and things in our life with fresh eyes, untainted by our past experiences of them. The second aspect to a millionaire mindset comes from letting go of your fears of not having enough money. You see, if your motivation to create wealth comes from wanting purely to make sure that you will never be poor, then unfortunately all your attention is actually on being poor and trying to avoid it. This is based in fear, and it means that you are still not at peace with being poor if it were to happen to you. Whereas having a millionaire mindset really has nothing to do with how many dollars you have in the bank and everything to do with how you think and how you feel. Until you can be at peace with poverty as well as with wealth without attachment to either, until you can let go of your fears of losing what you have, you will never be truly free to find the peace and contentment that is at the core of both the experience of having and not having money. While fear is running you, there will always be anxiety. You will be driven to avoid poverty. You'll be concerned, stressed, uptight, worried. And yet mastering a millionaire mindset will never come from anxiety. It comes from letting go. It comes from getting through your fears and attachments, from surrendering that control and being brave enough to face the worst possible scenario, so that you know you could get through it, and so that you find the core of who you are that remains unchanged by all of it. It's by getting to this core of yourself that you find where the true gold is. And that's peace of mind. It's an open heart. It's an acceptance of what is that is not dependent on any bank account or any level of worldly success. Now, I've been lucky enough to have millions in my life, and I've also been lucky enough to lose millions. I've gone from living in a beautiful big house to living in a trailer. I've gone from having a successful 6-figure business to doing cleaning and 4 other part-time jobs just to try and make ends meet. I've gone from having pretty much every material thing I could ever want to living out of a single suitcase. Now, yes, I did struggle for a while with feeling like a failure, with the shame of losing so many things that I thought were really important at the time. However, I broke through into a place where I realized that essentially nothing had changed. In reality, just the scenery changes. Nothing inside actually changes. You don't become a different person, whether you have something or you don't. You may have lots of thoughts and feelings about it, sure, but those things aren't who you are either. In fact, I felt richer with nothing than I ever did with many properties and wealth, simply because losing everything allowed me to go deeper within to the core of where contentment really comes from. In my opinion, the only journey worth taking is to that core of our being, to a place where you can be free no matter what happens to you in life. You see, you are so much more than all of your material possessions. There will always be people and things coming and going in your life. So if your happiness is based on anything that can change, you're lost. Your happiness is then conditional, and you will always be trying to keep things a certain way to hang on to control. If you truly desire peace of mind, or freedom, or contentment, then you have to go deeper, past your mind, below your feelings, and into an experience of presence that can never be touched by events. Developing millionaire mindset mastery is worth everything. It's worth losing everything for, as you have everything to gain. And the strange conundrum is that the more you let go, the more you seem to attract. For as we start to vibrate with openness and happiness, it sends an abundant vibration out into the universe that responds in kind by sending you abundance in many forms. Abundance can turn up in so many ways other than money. It can come in the form of the generosity of a stranger, in the kindness of a friend, or the compassion of a family member. Feeling abundant can come just from waking up and being truly grateful that you're alive for yet another day. Just opening your eyes, walking outside and seeing the abundance of the earth, whether it's the beauty of the countryside that surrounds you or the incredible creations in the cities. Every inch of our precious planet is covered in abundant creation. Open your eyes to what is already here. Notice the animals, the oceans, the marine life, the insects, the birds, the trees, the mountains, the valleys, the people, the towns, everything you can see. How can you think that this planet is anything other than incredibly abundant? Mastering a millionaire mindset means living in gratitude for each flower and each blade of grass and each and every breath that you still have to enjoy them. It means finding the riches of being, even when things aren't going your way. Feeling like a millionaire, even if you don't have lots of money, means that even if you can't make choices right now to have all the things that you might like to have, but you can make the choices internally to choose your interpretations and your reality through mastering your mind. Feeling like a millionaire, if you do have lots of money, means that you aren't afraid to lose everything if that's what happens. It is possible for people to feel free, content, and even blissful when they're in prison, say, when they are living in a cave with nothing, or even when they're dying of cancer. Therefore, it is also possible for you to experience contentment, bliss, and a connection to something beyond yourself, even if your life is not going the way you would have preferred and you don't have the wealth you dreamed of. The true riches in life are found deep in the moment, in the gap between thoughts, and in the experience of being alive. Nothing can take these away from you. Nothing. Except your own mind. So you just have to go deeper into your core instead of living in the mind with its judgments, its stories, its comparisons, and its negativity. You see, we owe it to ourselves not to take everything so seriously and to rise above the ego's petty desires and defenses to a place where we don't need material wealth to feel good about ourselves anymore. Everything you ultimately desire, happiness, love, peace, are always present inside your own heart right now. And my deepest desire is that you find that freedom. So, when is now a good time to start looking?